Hi guys! Shout out and thank you to all of my subscribers, and for all the new people here, welcome. So it has been about 3 months. It's been a little over 3 months since we started Explode the Code 1, and I just wanted to share an update on how things are going. The reason we switched to Explode the Code 1 is because we were using How to Teach Your Child in 100 Easy Lessons, and that didn't quite work out for us. You can go back and watch my video. Have some positives and negatives about it, but at the end of the day we had to switch, and we started Explode the Code 1. They do have Explode the Code ABC, which teaches phonics. My daughter already knew the letter sounds, so we just went right into Code 1. And so I showed this before. We did the pre-test to see where she's at, and it's taken us 3 months, but guys, we've made it all the way to the very end of the book, and we're on the post-test. My daughter has 3 pages to do, so we will be finishing it up this week. And yeah, so let's just discuss a little bit about how things went. So this is kind of what it looks like, and I'll show you the front of the book. So when you start, book 1 goes through all of the short vowel sounds. So each section will have the short vowel sound, and it's all pretty much the same pattern. There's like a repetition. There's a few activities that are a little bit different in some of the sections, but for the most part, all of the activities are similar. And so you have to circle what picture starts with the sound, and then they have you do some writing practice. You have to match words and things like that. So my daughter really enjoyed doing this. She's used to doing worksheets, and I like that it incorporated some handwriting practice in it. The Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons also did that. I feel like this was a much slower pace than Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, and that was good for my daughter. It really boosted her self-confidence to see that she could figure out these activities on her own, and also that she could read sentences like these on her own. And what I do like about this is that it has shorter sentences, and usually what I found is they start off easy, then the middle sentences are kind of hard to read, and then it goes back to easy sentences. So when the child finishes, they feel confident, they feel good about what they've done. I'm not gonna lie, she still hates reading. She really doesn't like to do this part, but she liked it more than she did Teach Your Kid to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And also I think because there's 2 sentences and not like a whole page full of paragraphs or a story, it was easier for her to digest, and it's not so overwhelming. Now, even when I was doing Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, I would cover up the parts that we weren't working on, and I also did that with this book. So if we were just working on the first 2 sentences, I would cover up the rest so she wouldn't see it. I feel like she gets overwhelmed when she sees too much stuff on one page, and so that's really helped her. And as we started out in the beginning, she had to go through and read both of the sentences to figure out which one is correct. But as we went on further down, I noticed that she would remember words that she had learned just from, I think, the visualization, also doing the activities, of course, but she would recognize words that she had learned in previous parts of the book, and those words were kind of like clues to help her pick out the right sentence. And so without even really reading the sentence, she would say, oh, I'm going to read this sentence, and it would be the correct sentence, and she would read it, and then she would mark it as correct. So I thought that was pretty interesting that she could select the correct sentence just based on some of the words that were familiar. But what I like about this book is that it would kind of try to trick the child in a way. They don't make it so easy. So even if these are maybe not good examples, but even okay, like this one is a good example. Even if the both the sentences had the word bat, then they would have to select which sentence is correct. So it's not always that one sentence has a correct word and the other sentence omits it. That would be easy for them to pick out which sentence is correct if they knew that word. And so they'll have the same word in both sentences. And so that makes your child have to read the sentence to figure out which sentence is correct. Now, because the book is repetitive, it can get a little bit boring for my daughter. It wasn't necessarily boring, but it was just too much repetition for her. And she wants to have fun. And so we had to make it a little bit more fun as we went along. And I'm trying to find out where we did that. So, okay, once we got into around Christmas time, so about a month in, instead of just circling the correct picture, I had her color the picture. So she likes art and things like that. So she enjoyed coloring the pictures in instead of circling the correct picture. And then, like when we were doing the boxes, I had her match the words with different colors. And again, this one she had to write in words, and after she wrote in the correct word, then she would color in the photo. And then let's see, sometimes I'd have her write the words in different colors. And then this one was like around Christmas time. I had her cover the correct word with stickers. And you might think like, well, how is she seeing the words? She would have to match the words first, and then I would give her the stickers and she'd put the stickers on them. So these are just things I did to make the book a little bit more interesting for her. And we did do 1 page a day, except on our designated reading days. I would try to have her do 3 pages. And so this took us, a little bit over 3 months to complete. And let's go to the post-test. This is the post-test area. It starts on page, let me see here. It starts on page 85 for the post-test. Well, you do a review first of everything that you've learned, and then you have a post-test. And so this is something that I had her do on her own, and I told her I can't help you because this is kind of like a test, and it's going to tell me how much you've learned in all of the work that we've done. And so she understood that, and the review she did very well. And then we got into the post-test, and she did make some mistakes on the post-test. This one she did very well, but then the following page she had some trouble. And so I do find now that we're at the end of this book that she still has trouble not necessarily recognizing the letters B, D, and P, but with writing BDNP, and I do know that it's quite common for kindergartners and beginner readers to mix up those letters. I've also noticed that when I dictate a word like pig or leg, she also has trouble hearing the I and the eh sound, so she'll mix those up a little bit. So those are areas that we have to work on, but it's good to know. And as far as reading, we haven't done this part yet, but as far as reading sentences, can she read sentences? That is a big question, and the answer is yes. Now, she could read some sentences using Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, but if they were very, very, very simple sentences, the farther we progressed in lessons, the harder it was for her to read sentences. She would get extremely frustrated. Does she still get frustrated reading sentences in this book, the Explode the Code? Yes, she does. But far, far less. And she's able to go through the lessons within like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And she's able to do more of it herself. So she is progressing. She is doing better reading. Her blending has gotten better. It's not fluent still, but it is better. And I think the just quick, short sentence practice that this book incorporates, and also her learning more sight words has really helped her reading. And I explained that when we started doing more sentences, she started ticking off each sound as she went through. And so she understands that a word is made up of a group of sounds that are put together. So overall, did the book work? Explode the Code? I would say yes. It has boosted her confidence a lot, and she is reading. She is able to read on her own. Every once in a while, she'll need assistance with a word where she thinks she said the word correctly, but it wasn't correct, and I tell her, oh, you've almost got it, but it wasn't quite right. Try it again. And she gets frustrated far, far less. So she likes this book way more than Teach Your Kid to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I would recommend this book. I would also say if you are using Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, you could use both of these together. I really think that doing Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons first was very beneficial to her. And now we're going to go on to Explode the Code 2. And because this took us about 3 months, I expect the next one will take us also 3 months. I'm not sure that we will continue Explode the Code 2 in the summer because I wasn't planning to do summer school, but we're going to start Explode the Code 2. She's excited to start that. So that is our review. I hope it helps you, and we'll keep you updated.